Hey, good morning, beautiful spirits. This is Myron Magnus. Listen to a segment of Pure Pugilism, Boxing Logic. Barry Hearns' comments prove many cannot handle the truth. Have to do a revamp of this video. A short revamp of the live that I did yesterday because the live was just horrible and I just wasn't on point. I was freaking tired. And I couldn't get my thoughts and remarks all together to really say what I wanted to say. Plus, it's a very can be sensitive issue, although it should not be a sensitive issue if the man is stating facts. Okay, and speaking candidly and respectfully, which is what Barry Hearn did. But his comments prove that many men and women of color cannot handle the truth, and white people simply can't handle the truth. And like I said yesterday, Barry Hearn made an analogy comparing the relationship between a promoter and a fighter in the yesteryear as like slave master to slave. As far as the fighters had to do everything the promoter wanted them to do, and got a very small piece of the pie, while the promoter perhaps got the lion's share. And comparing it, he used that analogy of talking about the yesteryears, 30, 40, 50 years ago, comparing it to today, where the fighter himself, okay, is in more control of their career. Definitely a big piece of the pot, perhaps the lion's share of what is made, at least some of them, not all, of what the money that's produced off of a fight, a revenue. And then he also added that we were in a good place, and he's very happy that it's gone from that to where we are today, where fighters have more control of their career, okay, and the promoters more so work for the fighters than the fighters work for the promoters. And it was a lot of people who feel those comments were inappropriate, insensitive, and racist. And I think you guys are the biggest hypersensitive, emotionally unintelligent fucks in the world. For real talk. If you think those comments, if you think a white man cannot make an honest, candid, respectful comment about how the relationship between him and someone he was doing business with, okay, has improved from it being more of a promoter taking advantage of a fighter to now being more of a fighter, being more in control of what the promoter does, okay, and making a reference from it to being how it was in slavery as a slave master to a slave, which is actually actual facts. If you're insensitive about a white man making a comment such as this in the very respectful, candid manner that he did, there's no fucking way in hell, okay, you can handle a situation where it's something that's much more serious, okay, and actually speaking directly about the slave trade, okay, it's impossible to expect you guys to handle a cordial, okay, let all the dirt out the bag conversation amongst color and white people, I should say, about that situation that happened hundreds and hundreds of years ago, a couple of hundred years ago, okay, all the way back to 1,000 years ago, up to present day. Okay, what I really can't, it's still hard to explain. It's still hard to understand how you have grown men and grown women today that must get emotionally involved with every little stupid, dumbass, and it wasn't a stupid, dumbass comment, but get emotionally involved so immaturely with a comment that's made that's actually factual. You know what I'm saying? A comment that was not made to denigrate anybody. It was speaking history, okay? From what's happened from the history to now what's come to be in the present time. Real talk. You know why I feel most people were embarrassed by that? Because most people cannot handle the truth. Jack Nicholson said it better than anybody. You cannot handle the truth. You are so emotionally unintelligent, or as well as emotionally immature, as well as lack proper insight and introspect within yourself and understand yourself to the bit, whereas you can see that the comments Barry Hearn made was strictly just a casual, candid comment from speaking comparisons of past to present and how things have progressed and gotten better. Real talk. If you keep slandering white people, or anybody for that matter, about anything that is super sensitive or ultra sensitive to yourself, okay, and they gonna keep getting blasted or bombarded with emotionally childlike adult people. They have childlike minds. They're in adult bodies though, but you have a childlike mind. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, you can't say that. You know what I mean? You please don't say that. That's offensive. Why? It was history. You bring it up when you want to, okay? And you sometimes don't say it as with much grace as he did. Real talk. Black people want to bring it up and throw it in your face all the time. That man didn't want to bring it up and throw it in your face. He brought it up in a sense of speaking of how far we've come. How a lot of men in the industry, starting with say like a Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweathers and all that, have taken control of their career. And he's happy that this has come about. That man can't even make a comment like that without you guys bombarding him. And what I mean to say is, if that is the case all the time, then you will have many white people just completely stay mute and never want to ever come out and express how they truly feel about situations, for the good and for the bad, for positive, negative, how to went from a negative to come to a positive. They're just gonna shut the fuck up about everything because you motherfuckers are just gonna get overly emotional and insensitive about some petty ass bullshit. To get really, really mad at Eddie Hearn, to say it was embarrassing, okay? And we can't even say that you guys didn't even understand the analogy and the comparison he was trying to make. We can't even say that you guys were confused, were thrown off. The comparison he made, he quickly clarified it after he said it, at the press conference. There was no way you could really misconstrue what that man said or what that man was trying to get at. Not even the retards can misconstrue what Barry Hearn was getting at. Okay? Why y'all so mad about somebody mentioning slavery, slave masters and slavery, when it's still going on today? Isn't that what motherfucking Apple is doing to a lot of people? When they have those people make their iPads and their iFucking phones in those goddamn slave districts in Asia. It costs them probably fucking $15 to make a goddamn iPhone. But they selling it for a motherfucking G. And you wait in line to go buy them shits, don't you? Aren't you perpetuating and assisting a slave trade then? Or slave work? slavery style conditions? How many of you stupid motherfuckers still go out there and buy Jordans? It takes $2 or $3 to make a pair of Jordans. But you'll go in line and stand 4, 5, 6 motherfucking hours for them. You'll go ahead and profess how many fucking Jordans you have in your closet. Man, I got the 17s. Motherfucker, I just got the 8s. I got the 7s. And you ain't stopped buying them motherfuckers, have you? Weren't you perpetuating slave conditions? Slave work? Because those Asians ain't getting paid hardly no money to do that shit. Wherever they at. In Bangladesh. Sri Lanka. You know what I'm saying? Thailand. Wherever they got the fucking Asian factories. In China. That's making all the great products and goods that we sell for 1,000 times the price. You're perpetuating it, aren't you? You stupid motherfuckers are hypocrites, man. I can't stand you emotionally immature bastards. For real. For real. Y'all all need to look inside, just look in the mirror. Just look in the mirror. Have you went somewhere and paid for some ass or some sex? Why didn't you just jack off, motherfucker? If you went out anywhere to another country and went there for the specific purpose, okay, to trick, then you was involved in peddling flesh. You was involved in some type of slave trade. You think those women want to have sex, huh? You think they just like your ass. They just out there because they want to just say, I love sex and yes, yes, yes. You know what I mean? This is what I want to do. I'm doing this because this is what I want to do for a living. Not that the conditions they live in, infrastructure they grew up in, the upbringing they had may have perhaps been so low in quality that they was thrust into a condition like that. Human trafficking. Have any of you motherfuckers ever been on porno, watched porno and watched Asia, exploited Asia, where you got motherfuckers going over there, a lot from Europe and shit, and a lot of motherfucking brothers too, are going over there to Asia and having sex with teenage Asian girls, and they do motherfucking videos about the shit, show those shits on porn, all different fucking sites, and making money off the shit. You involved in slave trade, you bitch motherfuckers. You all are fucking hypocrites. So let me rewind and bring this all the way back. If you're actually sensitive, or ultra sensitive, or hypersensitive, or was fucking embarrassed, okay, or want to motherfucking be mad at Barry Hearn from saying, using the analogy that he did, talking about the comparison of the relationship a fighter promoter had 40 years ago to what it is today, talking about the progression, the positive move it's made for a lot of fighters, not all, but a lot of fighters from it was in the past to was today. You are true indeed an emotionally immature man. We need to have men stop acting like women and women stop acting like children. Because all you motherfuckers do is complain about everything. Every fucking thing. And if you keep on doing that, sooner or later, people are going to just cut you off. They're not going to want to fucking hear you. Not the intelligent people, the dumbasses who still stay in the victimized mentality. Still stay emotionally charged. Not analytically charged. Still emotionally driven by things that are said. Those people will always stay in the predicaments and situations they're in their life. Because they cannot properly self-assess themselves honestly. And see the shit that they do that perpetuate and help the very conditions that they say they hate so much. The very conditions that they say should be annihilated, that they claim they want to get rid of, that they claim only white people do. You do it too, bitch-made motherfuckers. You just don't want to look at yourself in the mirror and see how that the traumatization mentally and emotionally that was caused by a lot of the slave trades and things like that have been sucked in a part of your atomic molecular thinking structure, and now you do it to this day. You do a lot of it. Okay? You are a product of your fucking environment in many ways. So try becoming analytical and less analytical in your assessments of things people say, whether they're trying to be offensive and whether they're trying to be non-offensive and they're just trying to explain. Be more honest. Make your assessments more honest and less opportunist. Okay? I just want to talk about any sound like a bitch or any old shit a motherfucker say that's just right and exact. And that's all Barry Hearns said, was something that was right and exact in the comparison of the past to now in the business relationship between a promoter and a fighter. Okay? A lot of you motherfuckers are just really emotionally irresponsible. Truly. And you got the dumb motherfuckers who are going to follow the dumb motherfuckers. Retards follow retards. I just told y'all a video ago, marry somebody more intelligent than you. Marry somebody who don't act like you, who's exact opposite than you, to balance that shit out so your kids don't come out as emotional, ignorant, dumb fucks like you are. Real talk. Because you motherfuckers are stupid. You motherfuckers have the emotions of a 3-year-old child quite often. And it's a damn shame. We will get nowhere. We ain't ever going to rebuild a nation for our people that's going to be stable and steady, while you motherfuckers continue to be emotionally unsteady and unstable. And those are the facts. This is Myra Magnus. Peace.